The gambling problem nobody talks about. Professional golf has a gambling problem, and it's been hiding in plain sight for decades. John Daly is the most public case. Between 1991 and 2007, Daly claims he lost somewhere between $50 and $90 million gambling. That's not a typo. He'd win tournaments and immediately blow the prize money in casinos. He lost $1.65 million in one 5-hour session. But Daly was just honest about it. How many other tour players have serious gambling habits that remain private? The tour doesn't publish gambling-related suspensions or interventions. Players can lose millions betting on anything except golf itself, and the public never hears about it. The code of silence protects the tour's clean-cut image, while players quietly spiral. Many tour pros participate in high-stakes gambling games with each other, practice rounds with 5-figure bets, card games in the locker room, sports betting that would make a casino blush. It's an open secret in golf circles, but the PGA Tour pretends it doesn't exist. The environmental catastrophe. Golf courses are environmental disasters wrapped in beautiful landscaping. The average 18-hole course uses approximately 312,000 gallons of water per day. In drought-stricken areas like California and Arizona, courses are draining aquifers and diverting water from communities that desperately need it. Then there's the chemical warfare. Maintaining those perfect greens requires massive amounts of pesticides, herbicides, and fertilizers. These chemicals leach into groundwater, poison local ecosystems, and create dead zones in nearby bodies of water. Studies have linked golf course chemical runoff to increased cancer rates in surrounding communities. The carbon footprint is equally absurd. Tour events require flying players, caddies, officials, media, and equipment around the world weekly. The climate impact of a single PGA Tour season is staggering. Yet the tour's sustainability initiatives are mostly greenwashing, minor changes that generate good PR without addressing fundamental environmental problems. Caddies get exploited. Caddies are the backbone of professional golf, yet they're treated like contractors with no benefits, no job security, and compensation that depends entirely on their players' performance. A caddy travels weekly, paying for flights, hotels, rental cars, and meals. If their player misses the cut, the caddy might net a few $100s for the week after expenses, or even operate at a loss. There's no health insurance, no retirement plan, no workers' compensation if they're injured. Players can fire caddies without notice or cause. Stories abound of players firing loyal caddies after winning majors to avoid paying the 10% of a massive payday. The tour could establish baseline standards and protections, but chooses not to. Caddies walk 72 holes carrying 40-pound bags in extreme heat, cold, and rain. Many develop chronic back problems and knee issues. Without health insurance, these injuries can be financially devastating. The tour profits from their labor while providing zero safety net. The discrimination problem. The PGA Tour had a Caucasian-only clause in its constitution until 1961. The Masters didn't invite its first black player until Lee Elder in 1975. Augusta National didn't admit its first black member until 1990 and didn't allow women members until 2012. Today's tour remains overwhelmingly white. As of 2024, fewer than 5% of PGA Tour players are black. The pipeline problem starts young. Golf is expensive, courses are often in affluent areas, and country clubs remain gatekeepers with membership fees that exclude most families. Women's golf fares even worse. LPGA Tour prize money is a fraction of PGA Tour purses. The 2024 U.S. Open winner took home $4.3 million. The Women's U.S. Open winner got $2 million. The message is clear. Women's golf is worth less. Sexual harassment and assault cases have plagued golf at every level. The tour's response has typically been quiet settlements and non-disclosure agreements that protect the institution while silencing victims. Performance-enhancing drugs. Golf's testing protocols are laughably weak compared to other professional sports. Tests are infrequent and often announced in advance. Beta blockers reduce anxiety and hand tremors, perfect for pressure putts. Stimulants improve focus during 4-hour rounds. Testosterone and human growth hormone aid recovery and build strength for 120-mile-per-hour club speeds. Several players have tested positive over the years. Vijay Singh admitted using deer antler spray containing a banned substance. Doug Barron was suspended for testosterone and beta blockers. But compared to other sports, golf's PED scandals are rare. Is golf really that clean, or is testing just inadequate? A player who gains 20 yards off the tee through PEDs could earn tens of millions more in prize money and endorsements. The tour doesn't want to dig deeper because positive tests damage golf's clean image. The money laundering machine. High-end golf operates as a playground for the ultra-wealthy, including individuals with questionable financial backgrounds. Foreign oligarchs, corrupt politicians, and organized crime figures have all used golf to cleanse their reputations. Buy a golf course, sponsor a tournament, join an exclusive club, and suddenly you're a golf enthusiast rather than someone under investigation for corruption. The tour partners with corporate sponsors whose business practices range from questionable to outright illegal. Tobacco companies, financial institutions caught in fraud scandals, oil companies with environmental violations. They all wash their images through golf sponsorships. Levy Golf represents the most brazen example. Saudi Arabia's government using unlimited oil money to buy credibility in golf. The PGA Tour initially condemned it as sports washing, then partnered with the same Saudi money when it became financially advantageous. Principles evaporated when billions of dollars appeared. The labor violations. Beyond caddies, golf tournaments rely on hundreds of temporary workers who are often exploited. Many tournaments use unpaid volunteers extensively, saving enormous labor costs while generating millions in revenue. Grounds crews work brutal hours before tournaments, preparing courses to tour standards. They're often paid poorly, lack benefits, and face termination if they complain. Hospitality workers at tournaments face similar issues: long hours, low pay, no overtime, and working conditions that would violate labor laws if properly enforced. The tour profits from this labor model, keeping costs low to maximize revenue. The match-fixing whispers. Golf is theoretically vulnerable to match-fixing because individual players control outcomes and betting markets are enormous. A player having a bad year could throw holes in specific ways that affect prop bets without raising suspicion. Missing putts and hitting into hazards happen naturally in golf, making intentional failures difficult to detect. Asian betting markets are particularly vulnerable, with billions wagered on golf in markets with less regulatory oversight. A player could be approached by syndicates offering money to influence outcomes. The tour insists golf's integrity is unassailable, but sophisticated match-fixing involving small strategic mistakes would be virtually undetectable. The tax avoidance schemes. Professional golfers are masters of tax avoidance. Many establish residences in states with no income tax, even if they barely live there. Equipment deals and endorsement contracts are structured through offshore accounts and shell companies to minimize tax liability. The tour itself operates as a tax-exempt organization under 501c6 status, claiming it's a business league. Yet it generates billions in revenue and pays executives multi-million-dollar salaries. Tournament purses have exploded to over $20 million at some events, distributed with minimal tax withholding. The IRS loses billions annually to golf's tax strategies. The injury cover-ups. Professional golfers play through injuries constantly, often with team doctors complicit in hiding the extent of damage. Pain-killing injections, anti-inflammatories, and cortisone shots allow players to compete when they should be resting. Tiger Woods played through back and knee injuries for years, receiving pain-killing injections just to walk the course. His body eventually broke down completely. Players face enormous pressure to keep playing. Missing tournaments means lost prize money, falling rankings, and potentially losing sponsorships. Team doctors are paid by players or management companies, creating conflicts of interest. Long-term health consequences are ignored. Players retire with bodies broken from years of playing hurt. The sponsorship hypocrisy. The PGA Tour promotes family values while taking money from alcohol companies, gambling operations, and corporations with terrible labor practices. Alcohol sponsorships are everywhere, yet the tour positions itself as family-friendly entertainment. Sports betting partnerships have exploded since legalization. The tour now partners with gambling companies, promoting betting apps during broadcasts. This is the same tour that suspends players for betting on golf. The hypocrisy is breathtaking. Corporate sponsors include companies caught in labor violations, environmental scandals, and financial fraud. The tour doesn't vet sponsors' ethics, only their bank accounts. Even equipment sponsors manufacture in countries with weak labor protections, where workers earn pennies assembling clubs sold for hundreds of dollars. Golf sells itself as a gentleman's game built on honor, integrity, and tradition. The reality is far darker. Gambling addictions, environmental destruction, labor exploitation, discrimination, and financial corruption are woven into professional golf's fabric. The PGA Tour protects this system because transparency would threaten revenue. These aren't isolated incidents. They're systemic issues the tour chooses not to address. Every time the tour prioritizes profit over principles, it reinforces that money matters more than the values golf claims to represent. The next time you watch a tournament and see pristine fairways, smiling players, and corporate logos everywhere, remember what's hidden beneath the surface. Professional golf has a dark side, and the PGA Tour works very hard to keep it in the shadows.